Hey everyone, Andrew here. I just wanted to give a quick plug for the top 5 video series that we have going on Facebook. Check it out, and we are going on to the show. Rewind Entertainment. Hey everyone, welcome to the Rewind Entertainment Podcast, episode 4. I'm your host, Andrew, and I'm joined by Jason,
What's going on?
Bryce,
Hey everybody.
Matt,
Sod.
and Nick.
Howdy doody.
All right, with that out of the way, we're going to do news of the week with Matt.
Alright, so first we're going to start off with some pretty big news, but probably not too shocking. That PlayStation has confirmed there will be a PS5. News came out a little bit earlier this week. Not really a whole lot of concrete stuff to look at. It's just a conceptual video, I guess, where they just kind of show a bunch of animated controller things that they're trying to get done and VR and things like that. It's no release date's been announced. People are speculating that it'll be late 2019 or 2020, since that seems to be on track with the same way the PS4 would.
I guess about time. I was thinking they are going to go as like cell phone type deals.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to take some inspiration from the Switch. It kind of looks like with the controller, it looks to be magnetic, where you can remove the actual physical, like where you put your palms. So it's really interesting looking. I don't know. I'm sure that'll probably change. Seems like that's a little too copycat or gimmicky. So we'll see.
Well, I guess it really depends on for me how the OS is like, because
Right.
every time we've gotten a new console, a new operating system has been with the console. I thought they were gonna go like the cell phone route where, yeah, you get new hardware every so often, but the operating system's the same, so backwards compatibility won't be an issue. That, and they just keep improving on the operating system. But we'll see if they do that or not. But yeah, it's been almost 5 years since PlayStation 4, so about time. Something's been said.
I
Well,
figured
guess
that. Good.
I was gonna say, I guess that means Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna be delayed again.
No, you shut up. You shut up.
It's been a good run, Matt. It's been a good run.
Yeah, it's been a good 25 years.
Yeah, I mean.
I figured the next gaming console will be hugely focused around VR, since that seems the way a lot of things are going.
And I think that's why they're going with that controller setup, where you can remove, so basically, if you think of the current PS4 console, where they have that center touchpad.
Yeah.
If you cut that out and remove the two sides, that's basically how it looks. It's magnetic. So I assume that's what they're going with the VR, is you can take those apart and use those as your controllers, so you don't have to have independent controllers for VR. So
Gotcha.
As long as they bring back the move and then that UFC training game where it teaches you how to fight, I want that game back too.
that's how Nick learned how to fight.
That's exactly. How did you know?
So, but yeah, so no kind of announcement date or anything like that. Don't even have any kind of real specs to look at. We just know we just know that we got a 500 to 1 terabyte version when it comes to PlayStation, this last PS4. So they're hoping that it's going to be at least 1 terabyte, and they're also talking about possibly being SSD. So we'll see, but I think that it'd drive the price up a lot. But nice.
SSD prices are falling,
Yeah, they're falling pretty fast.
so I think it's doable, definitely.
So next, we're going to move on to some comic news. Marvel signs an exclusive writer, Kelly Thompson, who is the main writer on Rogue and Gambit, which is a newer series of comics. She's also done some writing for Hawkeye. She's also done some art with Hawkeye. So it's pretty big news for Marvel. This Rogue and Gambit is a series that a lot of people have wanted for a long time. They're both two characters that haven't really been portrayed in movies very well. So it's nice to see some good press for those two characters because they're both. At least I know Rogue. Rogue's one of the characters that I've always been interested in, but she's always like it was very, very poorly acted out in the movies, so it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. So I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I'd say the '90s X-Men cartoon was probably the best portrayal of Rogue.
Agreed.
That was racist as hell. So yeah, it was good.
That and Gambit. I'd have to say Gambit is
Yep.
portrayed properly in that one as well.
Yes. So that's it for that, and then some Netflix news.
Oh no.
A little bit, probably not surprising. Bright already had Bright 2 confirmed, which I just don't really, unless they just pre-planned 2 movies and they were just going to say, F it, we're doing 2 no matter what. Because they got a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. No one seems to really have liked the movie a whole lot. So I can't imagine they're doing it for the money for number 2. However, it is the highest viewed original film that they've made. But I can imagine that when they put number 2 out, a lot of people that saw the first one aren't going to watch the second. It was terrible.
I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook of people actually liking the movie.
And
Really?
I'm one of them.
Yes.
The movie was enjoyable, actually. If you didn't look too hard into it, it was a decent movie, especially with the characters they had.
Yeah, like the concept is great. I haven't seen it yet, but the concept's great. But a lot of people on my Facebook feed are about, I don't know what the critics are talking about. It's a great movie, blah blah blah.
And see, I've seen the opposite. It's like I saw like 4 or 5 the day it came out. It's like, well, that was a waste of my time, and don't go see this if you haven't seen it already. So I don't know. That's interesting. And I normally trust Rotten Tomatoes with their judgment on movies. So it's so strange that it got 27%. But
yeah, I usually trust it too. Except for, of course, my biggest thing is Transformers 1 and 2. I love those movies, but they're terrible rating. So that's why I kind of want to give Bride a chance at some point.
yeah,
Definitely give it a chance. I think it was just a fun cop movie. I know that there was the stigma about racism in it and stuff like that. I'm not sure if it's racism or just general hate, but like the whole Orc Nation and all that, basically they chose the wrong side during this massive war. They went with the dark side, and basically the Orcs are trying to reclaim some dignity back into the regular world after the war ended.
Gotcha.
So,
How long
so it's not
ago
really.
was the war?
I don't think it was maybe 5-10 years.
Okay, interesting.
So we're getting into where they're getting back into society. They're still looked down upon, but it's not really racist. It's more of you kind of been fighting us this whole time during that war.
Right.
So
it's
kinda
I guess
hard to
it's kind of
trust
like
you, right. It's a trust type story.
like Germany after World War II and stuff.
Yeah. I would go with that route.
But yeah, I did see like some memes like showing like elves and stuff being like all the rich people and then all the orcs
That is true.
being all the poor people.
Yeah, that definitely was portrayed in the movie. But I mean, as for a Netflix original, it's not like you had to go out of your way to go see it. So I don't know about that comment, but I mean, watch on your phone or watch anywhere.
If you are looking for a good Netflix original movie, look up Okja, OKJA.
I've heard good.
I
good
like
things
it.
about that.
I watched it.
I haven't seen that. I haven't even heard of that actually.
Yeah,
So
look
that's
it
with
up.
that hippo-looking thing, right?
Yeah, it's like it's weird, but it seems like it would make sense in the near future. It is very Asian based.
If you want a good Netflix show, not movie, check out Lovesick. Dropped 3rd season beginning of January. So good.
Oh, good.
So good. All right. Well, moving on to the final piece of news. It was for you, Andrew. Got Overwatch Pro has been suspended for a not a gay slur, but I guess a gay comment towards another individual. Yeah, I got Felix Lingle, XQC from Dallas Fuel. Basically, he had
Yes.
some issues with one of the Houston Outlaws. He told him to go suck a fat cock. I mean, you would like it. That's a quote. And I guess the guy's openly gay, so he didn't really mind it. He just said that XQC was homophobic and piece of garbage and stuff like that. So he's been suspended from the Overwatch League for 4 matches. And so think about it this way: if
They're trying to be a sports league. You can't do that.
If some NBA players told someone to go suck a fat cock, like in an interview, they'd get suspended and fined. Like it's not like
And that's
outlandish or anything.
yeah. Overwatch League is trying to be like a sports league, so they're gonna do like things like that. They don't want these kind of bad press items on their.
Plus he's basically he is being homophobic because he's taking a shot at this dude's preferences. He said, "Go suck a fat cock. I mean, you would like it." And the guy's openly gay, so he's just trying to jab at his sexuality, which is also kind of shitty of him. But
So when did this happen?
let's
After
see.
they lost to Houston 0-4.
They got smacked.
I
Yeah,
saw
they
the
were getting
game.
smacked.
So they were sucking cock, and okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. mhm.
Except they didn't like it. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
I see how it works.
So yeah, but he was suspended 4 matches, fined $2,000 by the Overwatch League, and then Dallas Fuel announced that they're gonna uphold the suspension, and they're also gonna bench him for the remainder of the season 1's first stage, which ends February 10th. And they're basically just gonna have him practicing a lot and then focusing on coaching and then training like that until he can come back. And
With better comebacks, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean,
one that hurts, maybe no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good move by Dallas's part. But I just feel it just seems like right now, if you have Dallas in front of your team name, you're just gonna suck this year. So
Yeah, where's next season? 2019.
Did
Yeah.
anybody ever tell them that that's a curse?
Dow-
What they told them?
I don't
Yeah,
know. It's like
Dallas.
if you weren't a Dallas team in the early '90s, you're
You're
screwed.
doomed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I get this, and I think it's the right move if they're trying to be that sports league instead of just the internet video game people that get paid. So
Yeah, like
Have y'all been watching the games at all?
yeah, I've been watching.
I will
Yeah, me
say
too.
over 10 million people did on week 1. So
It's definitely entertaining.
Were you a
But-
part of that 10 million?
Yeah,
I
were
was
you
a part of that. I was.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
that's
wow.
what matters.
Week 1
That's
at
right.
least. I didn't really watch week 2. I watched highlights.
Oh,
watched
there
it.
he goes. There goes
I
the
watched a
phone
lot
shot.
of it. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot more entertaining than I thought it would be.
Yeah, me too.
Well, like
I
we
still
were
don't know if it's
watching.
going to beat what baseball you said it's going to beat.
He says it's going to be one of the top 3.
Yeah, or it'll be third.
Yeah, about that, but
Probably not happening, but
we'll
it's
see.
it's getting up there though.
It's doing better than I thought, and it looks better than I thought, and everything looks better.
Yeah, because
I'm
it's
trying to-
the spectator mode, the
production.
colors, the production's
'cause-
good, but the colors are based off the team colors.
I don't
Yeah,
know
so-
if
I've gotten
y'all
used to that
watched-
now.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all watched when it first started being like an actual E-League, but
Yeah.
the spectator mode was garbage. It was
See-
awful to watch. I didn't like it, and they've tried to fix it, and it just made it worse. I don't know what they did, but now it's just so much more smooth.
Yeah, it's so
and
much
easier to
better.
watch.
Well, the very first one began, I hated it too, but then after about 6 months of it, they fixed a little bit, and where I can keep up with it, and it was fine to me. And everybody was shitting on it, and they said, this is the reason this game's dying. So,
the spectator mode was the reason.
Spectator
right.
mode's
Oh,
the
I
reason
know.
this game's dying.
the E-League part of it, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So, but
No.
I didn't, and I hated the colors at first, but now I've gotten used to it now.
Well, it makes sense though, just so you
I love
can
it.
distinguish everything. Yeah, everything about everything I watched the first week was just amazing.
They're
Agreed.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful skins. All right, that's gonna do it for the news. Not a whole lot, but I think some stuff that was. Let me get those words out. Some stuff that was interesting. I was surprised that he did get suspended, but I think that was the most shocking to me is that guy got suspended. 'Cause I watch streams of pro players and other things that say shit all the time, like oh that guy's gay or they
Yeah,
call
but they're
people
not
faggots and
representing a
stuff.
league.
No, but I've watched League players do that, and I've watched Counter-Strike players do that, and they don't
Oh,
get
for sure.
they don't, yeah, so it's
it's interesting that they were being harsh like that. I think it's the right move.
It's the right move.
It was surprised. That was all.
Was he streaming when he said this?
Yes.
After he lost?
Yes.
That's why it's so surprising to me. Is that it was on his stream, like, but I get it.
It would be just like if LeBron James tweeted, "Oh fuck this guy" on Twitter or something, after a
Right.
game. Something.
Didn't someone do worse and fuck LeBron James' mom?
Oh,
I don't
You
know.
on there? You on there?
What?
Was that a thing?
I don't know.
No.
I think
No.
that was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
you.
was it Jason?
I didn't want to brag about it. Oh, no.
I didn't want to bring it up, but
But yeah,
He calls me dad.
Oh,
All right.
even though he's older than you. Okay. Anyways.
yeah, whatever.
Matter.
All right. So we're gonna go into our main topic. So we've been compiling lists this past 2 weeks for our favorite franchises, movies, TV shows, games. We're gonna give around 2 or 3 of each one. Just to see what everyone's like patterns are. So let's go with Jason first. TV, movie, games, top 2, whatever.
Etc. Okay. Well, the kind of way I did it, and on some of these are ones I enjoy now, ones I enjoyed when I was a kid. So I have my movie franchises, and I think we're probably all going to have this in our top. Can't really argue with it. It's going to be Marvel because they dominate everything. They dominate comics. They dominate movies. They dominate. Even starting now, they're dominating TV series. I just got through watching Legion last week, and holy shit,
Oh, was it good?
so good.
Okay.
gotta watch
You think it was? It's like a slow burn, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, but what I really liked about it is, and I didn't give it a chance, but Megan watched it, and she's like, "You got to try this." So she even wanted to rewatch it, and it's one of those, it puts you in the mind of a psychopath and schizophrenic, and you're like, "What's going on here?" And more as you get to watch it later, you're like, "Okay, this makes a little bit more sense. It's a little bit more sense." And like, it's just trippy but awesome. I loved it. I can't wait for season 2.
as far as I know, for comic wise, they followed it pretty well, since it is Xavier's son.
Mm-hmm.
Legion itself.
Spoilers?
Well, you should know who
Nah,
that
it's not a
is.
spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. He's been out there for a while, but yeah, like the only thing I haven't seen, I guess, with that show is that if I remember his powers correctly, he was able to have different personalities, but each personality had its own power, and he was able to act upon those powers.
Yeah, and so far they haven't really done that.
No, I've seen a couple of them, but like the rest of it, they haven't touched.
Yeah, but they haven't really even announced that part. Or he's done different things, telepathy and everything, but they haven't shown him splitting off in different personalities. They said he was schizophrenic the first few shows, and the people came in and said, "Hey, you got powers. That's not." Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And he just deals with that the whole time.
What platform is this on?
It's
Netflix.
FX.
It's on
FX. FX.
Well,
Hulu.
yeah, it started on
Okay.
FX.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm watching it on Hulu, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was really good and surprising. I can't wait. I think second season starts in February. I think April.
Yes, pretty soon actually.
Yeah. So I that's a recommend for sure. And then my next movie, I'm gonna put Disney's Pixar. So
if you look like one of those kind of guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. And so, well, My Little Pony posters don't go with Disney Pixar, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, can't really argue with that one either. They like one of the top franchises in the world, especially since Disney took over Pixar, and now that Disney took over Star Wars. So suck it. So then The Incredibles 2 is coming out.
That's it. That's it. Just suck it. It's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, it's just a second.
And
Shut
he's
up.
suspended.
Everybody shut
Yeah.
And I'm suspended. You'll like it. So
Finding you $2,000, Jason. I need that in the cash or check.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
gonna
my
need to
retirement.
find you $200.
you take hot checks?
Always.
Oh man.
Okay. And The Incredibles 2 coming out. So
Yeah, I'm excited
You're-
for
Hell
that.
yeah, dude.
if you're a kid, don't go to the movie theaters first week.
Definitely.
Let us enjoy it.
Let us adults that grew up with the movie as kids enjoy
We
We're
weren't
it.
let
even
the kids
born.
go first,
We
and
weren't
then
even
you
born
go
yet.
after.
Yeah, you don't understand it. Are we gonna go? I'm gonna go down all of mine, or are we just gonna go through movies and we're gonna
Let's
go
go through your video games right now too.
Okay, my video games. My first one is gonna be Halo. I know it's not even in the top 10 video game franchises. I mean, I think they only sold 60 million copies to date.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It's not that. But
I mean, it's not about like
I know, but I'm talking about how big
sales.
it is
yeah.
or anything like that. But it's still a household name, recognizable, and it was a part of Bungie's golden age before they effed everything up. So, and that's probably the game I most remember as a kid, as playing Halo 1, going over to a buddy's house, playing for hours and hours and hours.
Blood Gulch.
And yeah, and well, we're just going through campaign, and then getting my Xbox when I was at Christmas 3 days straight. No one saw me, just playing. So, and then I guess that was kind of a newer one, even though I haven't played Halo in a while. One I enjoyed, but my older one growing up was Mario. I'm not a huge fan of the new age Mario. I haven't really given it a try though, to be honest. Like, what's that new one with the rabbit and Mario they just announced at E3?
They had Mario versus Raving or Rabbits or
Yeah,
whatever.
throw that away in the trash.
No, yeah, that's not like a mainline Mario game. What was the last like one you played? Was it 64?
Now I played Mario since then, but Mario 64 is what stands out to me, what I grew up with.
Right. So
I played
everyone
that.
is saying, I don't know whenever you have a chance, but that Super Mario Galaxy.
The Odyssey?
Is no, Galaxy, the one for Wii, is like literally the best one ever created.
Really? Is that
Yeah.
that's the new one with the hats?
No,
No,
Galaxy
that's
is the one where
Odyssey.
you jump around world to world, right?
Yeah. The Galaxy is the one where it, like gravity takes into effect. You go from world to world, and it's just like really interesting mechanics where, like, there's these two possible like planets next to each other, and if you jump off one, the gravity from the other can suck you into that one. It's really interesting with that, and they made a sequel to that. So there's Galaxy and Galaxy 2. But the most recent one with the hat is Odyssey, and that one is just straight up fun.
I've heard great things about that. I thought that was gonna be weird how they did it, and after watching the previews and everything and trailers, I'm like, it's gonna be weird. And so I
Yeah,
had the same
but-
feeling about that one as the one with the rabbits, and I was
It's-
like, but
It's fun. If you ever happen to get a Switch and you play through Odyssey, you'll get a nice little surprise at the end that I don't want to spoil.
oh well, I've heard good things about it. I haven't heard really any bad thing about it. It's something that I'd probably enjoy playing, and so.
It's really fun. Like, all the mechanics in it are great.
But- Oh, yeah. So those are my. I just got two of each. So, do we want to go? Do you want me to go or?
No, that's good. Let's go with Nick now.
Oh, I got TV's book.
Wait, TV too?
Yeah, go with TV, man.
Yeah,
Why
Finish
don't you
strong.
just
Finish
why don't
strong.
you just talk the rest of the goddamn?
Yeah,
Jason.
talk
Alright, Jesus.
forever.
Why don't you know what, everybody? Let's just leave. Let's let Jason finish.
All right. Good. Welcome to Jason's podcast. We got these nerds out of the way. My top TVs. These are both current, and probably Bryce would definitely agree with me. My favorite TV right now is Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
So good.
So
Yeah. And so we'll speed this up since I'm
Easy
getting
to
yelled
get
at.
caught up into.
Yeah. So good. And The Office.
Ooh, boy.
Oh god, I know it's not really a franchise per se, but they did copy the EU version, so I guess there was two things of it. But The Office is so good. I've
Yeah,
watched that.
With TV, it's more like a series than a
Yeah.
franchise, I guess. So yeah.
But
makes sense.
Game of Thrones and The Office, probably my two favorite things. I still watch The Office to this day. And I've seen every episode at least 6 times. So, books, Game of Thrones again. I'm not really much of a book reader much, but I did
figured.
read.
I could guess just looking at you. You weren't the book type.
Yep.
you
Super
got a lot
buff.
of types.
Yeah.
he's
For the Nick.
a lot of types for him, Nick.
Yeah, people that work out and really in shape don't really read books that much.
But we're good with formulas.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh no!
I'm never going to do a face reveal.
Be sure to attach his Facebook link in the.
Nope.
Oh god.
Deactivate Facebook now. Yeah, Game of Thrones, and then I actually did read both of this and the Harry Potter series. So
Yeah, I would agree with the Harry Potter series.
both of those good.
Yes. All right. Nick.
All right.
Please
Well,
rant.
please rant. You just want me to come back
You
from
look
that?
like those one of those types.
Who rant?
So for
Yeah.
franchises, we'll go and start with bodybuilding.com. So this is a great way to get your stuff.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
For all your steroid and creatine.
Yeah, dude. When you're taking your protein shits, you can read the website if you're into that kind of stuff.
Oh
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Anyways, all right,
Yeah.
into the serious stuff. So, I've always been a DC fan, and I never really knew a whole lot about it. So, the fact that it came first, I thought that was cool. Didn't know that, but I've always been into DC. So, DC animated movies. We can't say much about the live movies,
Animated movies say enough.
but but the animated movies and the storylines, characters, that's so good, right?
Okay.
So we'll stick with that. Of course, Batman's the best along with Joker. But anyways, next would be I guess as far as video games go. First, we're gonna go ahead and get this off the list. DDR, growing up. Right? Nobody? All right. No
Step Bro
surprise
was
in this.
way into that. I
Was he
I
Asian
watched.
or Mexican? He was
He's-
one or the other.
He's one of your family.
Yeah, there we go.
Whoa.
We're talking.
Oh, $2,000 fine.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah,
Family.
fine.
What's wrong with family?
Spended.
Family, but DDR. All right, let's get back into it.
That's
Since
what's wrong.
Jason took up all the goddamn time, let's
Yeah.
get into it. DDR, they used to drop me off at the mall, spend all day playing it, doing tournaments, all that crap.
Tournaments.
Hold the bar.
Tournaments.
DDR
Yeah,
tournaments.
hold the bar. And side note, fun fact, I didn't know all this, but the guys who hold the bars and they do all the the million presses, those are called technical players or techs, right? And then the people that actually do the gay dance routines, not homosexual, by the way. I'm talking about happy
Of course.
dance
Yes,
routines, of
yes.
course. No
Nice
fines
save.
here.
Nice save.
Thank you. They are called freestyle, right? Didn't know there was two different classes, and you'd have them kind of clash with each other, kind of thing. So
Oh, that
A little
that,
bit of,
that is kind of interesting.
All right, I'm
Makes
yeah,
sense.
they got into it. They got into it. Anyways,
I'm gonna go KMS. Be right back.
All right.
AMS.
pound
Kill
me too.
myself. Yeah, pound me too.
But anyways, so that's been around. Oh, also another fun note, and I knew this at the time, that there were actually some schools, like for example, there's a university in Kansas and California Institute of Technology where they allowed PE, a solid hour of DDR is what they counted for PE. How awesome would that have been, Jason?
Yeah. Oh man, I would have tore it up. I would have been
Now
better
we're
shape than I
talking.
am now. Yeah.
If I would have gotten a solid hour of Rock Band drums for PE, I'd be
What
fucking
I would-
skinny as shit.
What
We
I would
might-
pay
we might
to see
have-
Jason do an hour of DDR.
You couldn't see Jason do an hour of DDR because he would die in the first 15.
Okay, 5 solid minutes of DDR. How about
Oh.
So one song,
One song. Ugh,
and
yeah.
I choose a song. We're gonna pick Captain Jack.
Good,
Is that-
good choice.
is that-
Wait, no. What's that one?
Forgive
Something
me,
300.
Overdrive 300,
I
Max
can't remember.
300, something
Max
like that.
Max
I don't know.
300.
Anyways.
Max
Is
300.
that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, that was insane. Every time I watched my stepbro do that,
Is that like a notoriously hard song?
it's
Yeah.
It's like Fire Through Fire and Flames on Guitar
Alright,
Hero 3.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And we
All
lost
right.
everybody. Okay.
Yep, lost everyone. Okay, next franchise has to be, of course, I grew up playing. I think the first game I ever played was a Ninja Turtle game on the original NES, and of course Super Mario. But the one that I remember the most was the Street Fighter series and all the different versions they made of that. So Street Fighter through and through. And to note, and it's been rumored, which this isn't exactly true, because I think what is it, StarCraft and some others are really the ones that got the whole league play started. But a lot of people reference that Street Fighter Third Strike. I don't know if you guys ever played it,
Mm-mm.
but they say that that's one of the main catapults into the fighting game tournaments. That's kind of how it started because of that game. And if anybody ever see the Evo tournament? I think it was 2001, where the guy parried all Chun-Li's super kicks. Anybody ever see that?
No, I don't watch Evo.
I am what?
You're the
I'm
only
leaving.
like fighting
This-
game nerd in here.
This is the last podcast.
That's not
I'll
true.
be-
I watch Evo. I just was. I
You
was
weren't
9
alive back then?
2001, So.
Okay,
He was-
makes
he
sense.
was single digit age in 2001.
Indeed.
Okay, well, fine. But anyways, Street Fighter. So, and also, side note, Street Fighter's 30th anniversary collection comes out in the middle of this year.
Ooh.
And it's going to have pretty much every Street Fighter game ever made. All the iterations of Street Fighter 2, you know, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2, or Street Fighter 2, the in-law version, Street Fighter 2, the Mexican version, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, HD Remix, Street
Is
Fighter.
that
It's
what
going to
it's
have.
called? Is that what it-
The
on,
Mexican
hold on.
version.
what it's
You'll
called?
you'll have to buy it and find out. You have to
Oh,
buy it and
man.
find out.
Don't
Um,
remember that one.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember.
That
Shut up
doesn't
and take my
surprise me.
money.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's coming out. It's going to have like 12 different games on it. So maybe one of these days we'll throw that on the stream because they are doing multiplayer on it. Since
Nice.
none of you guys play good games, maybe include that on the stream. You know, Andrew.
Uh,
Anyways,
Hey, you can stream too. Everyone's
Moving
free to
on.
stream.
Same.
everyone's free to stream. What else did I have here? Since what's his name took up all the time. Oh, and then other
name.
franchise. It's there again. Kind of like Jason. It's not really a franchise, but I guess since they're actually making a spin-off series, maybe Sons of Anarchy. I really got into that
Ooh.
show. Really loved it,
Knew
and then
about
they're
10
making.
I knew about 10 dudes that went and bought bikes for watching the show. Not a
Hey
joke.
man,
They legit
Yeah,
went
it-
and bought motorcycles.
it was a movement. It was a lifestyle.
It
Grew out
was
their hair,
amazing. I loved
abused
it.
women. You know, drank beer and whiskey, bought
Moved
motorcycles.
drugs, you know.
Yeah, it
Pretty
was
sure
great.
that lifestyle was already there.
Shut up, Andrew.
Just-
Oh,
it
Yeah,
is
Andrew,
enforced.
shut
Sorry,
up.
sorry.
Somebody didn't watch it. but-
Everyone was a good person, you know.
You don't
before
you don't
that
understand
show
the
came out.
movement.
yeah,
It
they're
was really good.
primarily white guys. So you should show some appreciation there,
Yeah.
Andrew.
Pun to me too.
Pun to be too. And side note that the spin-off is supposed to come out fall of this year. It's about the Mayans. So of course, the fact that I'm brown has nothing to do with it. The Mayans, dude.
Huh.
One of the
Yeah,
gangs
yeah.
in it.
The Mexican side, yeah.
It's
Did
gonna
you
have-
watch it? No, I'm assuming not.
I didn't watch it to completion, but I watched.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
but
watched
that-
it about 5 times. So yeah,
Yeah,
mine.
same here. Pound me too. But
Yeah.
yeah, that other spin-off series coming out this fall, so check it out. I'm not endorsed by Sons of Anarchy, but I wish I were.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they
I don't
got.
know. How, do you think it's going to be good or bad?
I think it's gonna be good. They did the first thing they did with the pilot episode of Sons of Anarchy. They shot it last year, and then they recast it, and then they shot it again. And because they say that Kurt Sutter, the creator and writer, he's such a perfectionist in his storytelling, they're saying it has all the makings that the first one had. So I don't know. I think it'll be pretty good.
Really? Okay. I'm definitely going to give it a try, but
Oh yeah.
I don't know about it.
But yep, that's me. That's what I got.
All right, let's go with Bryce because I haven't heard a sexy voice in a second.
Ooh, yeah.
Thank you. I guess mine's more of, I don't know if it's really a franchise, but more of a series of movies. So the Jurassic Park series.
That's a franchise.
That's
All right,
franchise.
we'll go with franchise.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
cool. I mean, that's one of my first rated R movies when it was rated R.
Ooh.
When I was little.
Ooh.
So I've always grew up with Jurassic Park, and I can pretty much quote the whole movie.
Okay,
Well-
start from start.
Yeah,
from
here we
the
go.
beginning.
Yeah.
We need a
Let's do that.
2-hour podcast of Bryce just fucking doing it quote
Yeah.
for quote.
But yeah, I mean, that was always one of my favorites. It still is. I mean, so far, if you think about it, every time you go watch a Jurassic Park movie, you're not really let down, as far as I can tell. I mean, you still get all the dinosaur action you want and stuff like that.
That
So
was my first nightmare as a kid.
yeah, no, the
Jurassic Park.
Raptors,
Like the
Raptors-
original Jurassic Park. I saw it when I was 5.
Yeah.
It'd been out for a couple
Oh, good.
years.
What kind of parenting is that?
I saw it in theaters.
Very,
Uh-huh.
very poor.
Yes,
see
my
how he
parents
is
look
now.
back on it now. Yeah, my parents definitely look back on it now, going, "Why did we take you to the theaters to go see that?" But you know, that's
Still
my
holds
first
up.
love of movies.
That's good.
That's fine. I'll take my daughter to see it. That's cool. Whatever.
No, I saw it when I was 7, and my mom beat the shit out of me. She's like, "You can't watch that." I was like, "Mom, I like
So-
you."
7.
Taking a nice picture of your mom. Okay.
Yeah.
So did the damage come from the movie or from the beating? Anyways,
I mean,
moving on.
Probably both.
Probably both.
Both.
And I guess my other franchise would be like the Alien franchise. I do like the
Ah.
Predator, but I don't think the standalone movies were all that great.
Well, do you encompass those?
Uh-oh,
in one?
Nick's gonna
like
go off.
Alien and
It's
Alien
fine.
vs Predator? Like, is
I'll
that
hold
all
it
one
off.
to you, or just specifically the Alien?
A good question. I did enjoy the AVPs for what they were. I'm not saying that they were deep into any of that, but I definitely enjoyed Aliens as its own series. going
Gotcha.
through. That does include Covenant.
And
Mm.
Colonial
People-
Marines.
And Colonial
just
Marines.
kidding.
Colonial Marines.
Gross.
Yeah, so I mean, I've just enjoyed those. As for like the video games, yeah, they haven't done a really good job with Aliens or Predator, really.
Well, this last one that came out, a lot of people liked.
Isolation.
Yeah, Alien
Oh,
Isolation.
because of the horror aspect of it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because it was more of a like, it's more
Survival.
in tune with the movies.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go kill this. It was more like, I need to get the fuck out
And stay
survive.
alive.
So,
Yeah, no, I agree. I've heard a lot of good critiques on that game. But going from there, I mean, like, as for like my top two games, I would probably have to, like I said, Kingdom Hearts is one of the best that I've ever played, just because of the sheer concept of the game, its originality, and the fact that it combined, Disney with Final Fantasy. I played it more in the beginning for the Disney side of things. Now I kind of look forward towards some of the Final Fantasy side. So I mean, it's definitely one of those just up there games that everybody should try playing, and hopefully they enjoy it. And then as for my second one, it was kind of a tie between Call of Duty and the Batman series. I did enjoy Batman because you got to. I mean, it's like taking a comic book or a series of like a whole arc or something, and being able to play it how you wanted throughout it. Even though it still kind of pushed you along some sort of a linear story, you're still able to have that free world experience. So, other than that, I was keeping it down. I would agree with the Harry Potter series for books. As for TV, I agreed. Game of Thrones definitely up there. I don't know if there'll be another Game of Thrones sized TV series. I hope, but never know.
Yeah. We'll find out. After that's over, y'all should get into Westworld, though.
I've started Westworld, but it hasn't really grabbed me yet. So
oh, it'll
it'll-
grab you.
It'll grab you.
It takes about 3 episodes, I would say.
Yeah.
And then it just grabs you by your sphincter or what?
No, the other side.
Donald Trump style.
Oh,
Okay, Matt,
Chris,
go for
like a
it.
bowling ball. Continue.
All right. So I'm gonna start out with movies, and I kind of separate mine up a little more. I know this one had said Marvel, but specifically the X-Men, the X-Men franchise within Marvel, to include Deadpool because he is a mutant, so I count it. It's the movies that I grew up with, even though I realize how bad the first 3 were now. I still love them. I could watch them today, and I would be happy watching. X-Men is my favorite, I guess, like,
Well, the
side
first
of
one was good.
Marvel. I mean, listen, dude. Rogue almost killed all those movies. Anyways, I don't want to get into it. It's going to make me upset.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, so it's my favorite side of Marvel. Wolverine's my favorite superhero, quote unquote superhero. So I just love those movies. And then I'm gonna go Star Wars is my other favorite franchise. There's not much to say about it. I used to watch it when I was a kid. That was the first movie I remember watching with my dad as a kid. And when old school on the VHSs, when they'd have that intro, like what is it, HTX, I think.
Yeah, THX.
And THX, we'd just turn it up as loud as we could, and the neighbors were
Blow out
always
your ears.
off. Yeah, it was the best. So, those are my favorite 2 movie franchises. Moving on to TV, How I Met Your Mother. I know it's not a franchise, but
so good.
Yeah, I mean,
never,
all the TV ones are more of a series than a franchise.
yeah, I
but-
never really got into it until Andrew was like, "Dude, you got to watch How I Met Your Mother," and now it's my favorite series
You're
to date
welcome.
that I've watched. I know. And then I'm gonna go The Office. The Office also. Andrew turned me on to that. I thought it was just some stupid
Oh my.
sitcom that nobody liked. It's so fucking.
I turned
good.
Matt on a lot.
It's
Yeah,
so
you
good.
know.
No, me and Matt like the same kind of stuff.
So yeah,
I'm
both
good.
those series, Andrew got me into those, and they've instantly, as soon as I finished both of them, I was like, wow, that's the best show I've ever seen. So, so moving on to games, I'm not going to give you my number one. I'm going to give you my number 5. Checking my number 1, and the video is coming out later this week. Number 5 is going to be Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank was the first game that I ever played online. I had like a 130-foot Ethernet cord from in the living room where our router was to my bedroom. I just remember playing all night long, and it was up your arsenal. It was such a good. That was my number 5 of my favorite franchise of games all time. And number 4 is going to be Pokemon. I remember having a Game Boy Color playing Red and Blue, and it's just those. I still play those games. I have one in my DS right now. I could play that game for hours on end and not get bored. I went back like a couple months ago and just played Red, Yellow, and Blue, and I just rolled through them without stopping, and it was so much fun. Such a great game.
Did you ever use that replication hack?
Oh, you
Whatever
bet.
the 6th or
Missing no?
9th
Yeah.
item in your
Rare
bag was.
Candies Infinite.
No, dude, I did not. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so
And
oh dude, so
You find well, we thought it was like the unknown, I think is what it was, but it was actually a glitch Pokemon.
Oh,
And if you did
yeah.
something specific, it would destroy your game. If you
Yeah, it
didn't
would.
do it, then you got the replication of an item that was in your 6th or 9th slot. So you could do it with a Master Ball as well if you wanted to,
Huh.
before you went and got like Mewtwo.
yeah, so you do it with Master Balls
Done
and
it
you do it with Rare Candies, and you get everyone up to 100.
Well,
Oh, y'all
yeah,
are
I
a bunch of
wasn't,
cheaters.
wasn't a fucking cheater, Andrew and Bryce. Sorry.
Wow.
No, if it's in the game, it's by
Oh,
design.
Destroy the
No.
integrity of the game. Okay.
Bro,
No.
everyone
No, but
at my
Everybody
school did
used
it.
that.
Yeah.
Except for me, because I'm not a cheater. So
Yeah.
That's
You
'cause
were
you never-
cool
you
enough.
never
You
learned
didn't have
about
friends to talk with
microtransactions.
it about.
it's true. I do.
Oh, ow. Wow.
Ah, got him.
Someone heard it.
Yeah.
Go play DDR.
Oh, I will. Thank you. What a great idea.
We were
I
just
don't
talking
read a whole lot of books. I read a lot of comics. So I use that as my books. Favorite comic series franchise, I guess, would be the Batman comic franchise. They have some of the greatest stories / storytelling ever.
Are
I
you
don't know,
a
they're just-
King or Snyder fan?
They're so good. Snyder.
Okay, we agree on one thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Number
but no,
one,
it's so
oh.
so good. The stories are very compelling. I read The Long Halloween, I think, for the first time a couple months ago, and I just blew me away. I had no idea where it was going. It's so good.
That's still
That's-
on my
okay.
to-read list.
Oh, dude, so good.
I have
so yeah,
hardbacks if anyone wants to read it.
those are my. I know. I tried to pawn them off Andrew a while back. He wouldn't let me. But those are my franchises.
All right, well,
I thought you were going to be a Twilight franchise kind of person.
I mean, I'm Team Jacob, so.
Oh, maybe here.
What a loser.
What an idiot. Let's not get into that.
Anyways,
My feelings are valid.
that kind of
No, they're not.
Matt's thing kind of spawns into mine, so I'm gonna go into movie franchises
Do I
first.
spawn into yours?
Twilight.
Yeah, you spawned
There
it.
it is.
No,
Oh, I
no, it's
spawned.
not Twilight. It's the Dark Knight series for sure.
So good.
I'm pretty sure that Nolan based all of his movies on The Long Halloween, Batman Year One, all that good stuff. So that's my number 1 movie franchise, and then 2 and 3 are going to be filled by Back to the Future and Star Wars. Back to the Future has so many good things going on in it. Some of the funniest quotes that I do daily at work.
Daily.
Not much
Daily.
anymore, but
Earth Day.
yeah, it was very good comedy, and then of course Star Wars. Everyone loves Star Wars for now. So let's see there.
Best character, Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks, Darth Sith.
I hope you
Yep.
die. Slow down.
So those are my 3 movie ones, and then going on to TV series. Yes, of course, How I Met Your Mother and The Office.
Get off my.
Fantastic shows in their own right. And then this was the one that actually finally got me into hour-long TV shows, but kind of fell off because of the writer strike back in the day, was Heroes. I don't know if
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know if y'all watched that,
What do you
but
mean?
the first,
Everyone-
well, the
First
first
season.
season
If you
was
haven't watched
so
that, just go ahead and
good.
disconnect it. Record right now.
I mean,
Oh
my
my
sister
God.
has a tattoo of that half DNA strand because of Heroes.
Really?
It's so good.
Yeah, like the first season was so good, and then the writer strike destroyed it. But I still love it. Like,
I still watch the whole thing
Honestly,
over and over.
I think all of it until the final season was really, really good. The final
Really?
season was like, eh.
How
Well,
was
so-
the reboot? I never like even bothered with that.
Yeah,
I
I don't
didn't
know.
want to.
I kind of wanted to look at it, but I didn't. But like, I watched season 2 because that was like a short season or whatever. And then I didn't kind of watch it after that because I didn't think too highly of the second season. But the first season was so good. That was for TV, but for my Vig games, I kind of agree with Jason on number 1, Halo. Brought first-person shooter mechanics that were good into the console space. You know, we all like GoldenEye tried it. It was fun. Everyone played it. Everyone loved GoldenEye, but you can't go back to that control scheme the way you can go
I
back.
think that just the controller in general.
Or I mean, yeah, I guess the controller in general, but you can go back and play Halo 1 all day because they invented the universal control scheme that we have now for console. It's just so good, and the story was amazing.
For its time, definitely.
For its time, yes, probably one of the best sci-fi video game stories ever, in my opinion. But
Tom, you're not wrong.
yeah, and then definitely the mechanics of multiplayer in Halo 2 was just some of the best mechanics. It was all about precision. It wasn't about, oh, I started off with a better gun than you already. Everyone could start off with the same gun. Everyone goes to the same power weapons, try to get it, and then when you're evenly matched with BRs, it's all about who gets the first shot and who stays consistent with their shot. It was just
What
It
was
was
your
good.
favorite game type in multiplayer in that?
Team
The
BRs.
Slayer? Mine was SWAT. The
SWAT was,
headshot.
yeah, I mean, that
Mine
was
was Infection. Best.
Infection was fun, yeah, but mine was definitely Team BRs. SWAT is fun if you're trying to get your like twitch aim going on, since headshots are one hit if you actually hit them in the head in SWAT. But Team BRs, you can kind of miss as long as you hit them body still. You can still kind of win the gunfight, and that's what most of the MLG pros were doing anyways, just Team BRs. And then my second one franchise is Final Fantasy. So backstory on that, I went to a daycare center back in during elementary school because my mom couldn't pick me up from regular school right away.
She didn't love you.
Yeah, she didn't love me.
Ah!
So she paid other people to love me.
that-
Anyways,
There's so many
I saw
Asian jokes in that.
Yeah.
Love.
So one of the teachers, would bring a PlayStation and to,
I called her mommy.
bring in a PlayStation
fucking
and
weird.
play a game. And the first game I saw this teacher play was Final Fantasy VIII. I was like, oh, this is crazy. This is awesome, And then it just spawned from there. I went back and played 7. I played 8 for so much for like 3 or 4 years. I played 9. I played 10. All the good ones before they started going off weird. They're all okay now, but the PlayStation era, late PlayStation, early PlayStation 2 era of Final Fantasy was like the defining moment for me for Final Fantasy. Good stories, just great characters.
I wish I'd gotten into that. I never did. But I
That
wish
was
I
the
did.
time to do it. So it's kind of hard to get in now. But one thing that I have been noticing is I think they're trying to make everything universal. So what they do is they took the fighting mechanics from Kingdom Hearts and are slowly putting them into Final Fantasy.
'Cause it's the
in a
best?
way. Because
Yeah,
it
I
just
would
flows
say
more.
so.
It's more action packed now, and that's what kids want these days. They don't like turn based games anymore.
Yeah, and That's the reason I didn't want to play it as a kid. It's because I didn't like sitting there having to wait to do stuff. Like I just wanted to do stuff. It's different now. Like I enjoy some turn-based games now, but when I was a kid, like I don't want that. I just want to run
Yeah.
around and fuck shit up.
Yeah,
Right.
I would agree with you on that, especially
Yep.
being younger. But if you
Yeah.
think about it, if we go back to just the PlayStation era in general, think of how many good franchises have come from that and are still going, like
Dude,
Metal
just
Gear,
Wait for
Resident
my
Evil.
wait for my top 10, dude.
Oh, okay.
Oh, jeez.
I'll play.
And
Oh,
fun.
God.
I'm just thinking about the days of sitting, on a couch or a bed, like watching. I mean, either playing it or watching my cousins play those games, and it was on PS1 or PS2 constantly.
Yeah. So it was always just, great back in the day, PlayStation out of nowhere. But my third franchise for games is BioShock. So when I first heard about BioShock, I was a huge, huge PlayStation fanboy. I still kind of am, but I was huge PlayStation fanboy. I would argue on forums on why PlayStation was better, and then someone was like, well, hey, look at this game. It's called BioShock, and right now it's a timed exclusive on Xbox. So, yes, Halo was Xbox, and that's my favorite, but that's all I used my Xbox for was Halo. But because of that guy's comment, I went and played BioShock, and holy shit, did it mix first person with tiny bits of RPG mechanics and storytelling
Great storytelling.
and atmosphere. Oh, it was so good. Ken Levine is probably my favorite game director of all time because of his work in BioShock. I really need to go back and play his System Shock games. But yeah, BioShock was great. If y'all haven't played it, you should play it. And I'll move on to books. I didn't really read many books, because I was working out, bodybuilder.com.
Nice.
So I will have to say Chronicles
For all your
of
steroid and
Narnia.
creatine needs.
Chronicles of Narnia was my go-to.
Oh, damn.
I went to that because of just how magical it was, and it as a kid, it kind of relates to you more because the main characters were kids at the beginning.
Did you go on magical adventures as a child? Because
I
that
sure
wasn't
did.
my
I went,
life.
I went into the wardrobe a lot, and I met some lions, and
Just push it on the back of the wardrobe.
Yeah.
Open.
I was like, "Why
Open.
won't you
Get your
open?"
fucking European S words out of here. Fucking closet, all right?
No,
You went to your wardrobe.
yeah, I went into
agree
my
with- I
wardrobe.
do have to agree with Andrew on this. I mean, that was one of my first, I guess, major series to read.
Yeah, I read all of those. That was the only book series I think I actually read.
And yet
Yeah.
it didn't invoke the top 5. Okay.
Well, it's because that's not the most memorable things I read as a kid. It was the graphic novels that I read.
I think
Right.
I think The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was probably the number one out of that entire series.
Yeah. But that was just a great book series for me. And then this one is very young, very elementary school. Because I don't really read books now, but Encyclopedia Brown. I don't know if y'all remember reading that, but he was like the kid boy version of like Nancy Drew. Like there's all these little each book was like a different mystery, and they were kind of scary but not like super scary, but they were just a fun read. And that was my childhood. Encyclopedia Brown and Chronicles of Narnia. It's great stuff.
And not being loved by your mom.
And not being loved by my mom, yes.
Asian kid reading encyclopedias. Okay.
Yeah. That's all I had till video games.
Did you?
But
Then brought us all together.
we have
It's
all
like a circle.
like a circle. Anyways, all right. Anyone have any final thoughts before we end the show?
I did have, I guess, one thing. We brought up the writer's strike back in the day on the TV stuff. I think Dead Like Me, if you guys remember that one. That was, I guess, the first
I don't
series.
think I ever saw that.
It was really good. First series that, yeah, like you said, the episodes were about an hour long or so. and it got only 2 seasons, unfortunately, and that was because I think of that writer strike. So it's unfortunate. There were a lot of good series then that were starting up and just kind of
Yeah, a lot of series
Lost it.
died because of that strike.
yeah.
When did Firefly die?
It was a little bit before that, I think.
Before that?
Yeah.
Too soon. Too soon.
The answer
Yeah,
is too
still too
soon.
soon.
Yes,
Too soon.
but
Bring it back.
no,
God damn, so good.
I
Yeah.
know, wasn't it?
Oh,
That was gonna make one of my top fives, even just because they had a movie too.
Just the one scene. So good.
The movie is pretty.
Yeah.
Heart.
All right, let's go to some plugs. Jason, you plugging anything this week?
Plug it
Yeah. Check out Rewind Entertainment page.
Ooh. All right, Nick.
Got
in.
it?
Selfless plug.
No, got nothing. Oh wait, actually, I did make a new Grinder account.
Yeah,
Look him
dude.
up. Nick
Show some
Narvaez.
Or BBC NNARBAIZ.
Yeah.
I love the British broadcasting network. too.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
yes,
for
yes.
sure.
I thought BBC standing for something different.
Jason, I am me. Jason, we'll go over that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll talk about
Matt.
that. You can hit me up on Twitter at TA73R or right here next week.
Next week. Oh baby. All right, Bryce.
I'm good.
You're good.
They aren't worthy of my handles.
All right. So for me, you can hit my Twitter up at TXARich. You can hit my Twitch up, twitch.tv/TXARich. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Make sure you visit the Facebook page, just facebook.com/Rewind Entertainment Podcast. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you.
Fair.